Hey everyone, it's Holly and I'm back with another video. I know I look a little crazy right now. I've got my eyebrows on and no other eye makeup on, so obviously this is going to be a little eyeshadow, eye tutorial type of thing. So I'm going to be using the James Charles palette today, which I really like. In case you missed my video where I used it in a more editorial style look, like very colorful, this is the palette. It's really colorful, but it also has these top couple rows that have more like everyday look type of colors in them. So I've really enjoyed this. I do use it every single day, and I just wanted to show you kind of just a simple, basic, everyday look. I've already done my eyebrows, as you can see, and then I've already primed my eyelids using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which is right here. It's kind of a matte eyeshadow primer that I really enjoy. So without further ado, we're just going to step right in. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, let me get rid of this. I'm going to go in with like a transition shade. I usually use this one. This just puts down a base layer of product for you to blend other products into. I'm using like a big fluffy type of brush with this. This is the Wet n Wild brush set that I bought last year around Christmas time for 10 bucks, and it was awesome. So I'm just going to swirl my brush into it, tap off any excess that there may be, and then I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. I usually make kind of like a V with the transition shade on the outside. I'm just using like big swirling type of motions. Gonna still keep on doing that. And then swirl it up, going kind of along the crease. Okay, this is just to get that base color down. I'm going to do this to the other eye and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I've got that transition shade down on both eyes, I'm going to use a slightly smaller but still a fluffy brush and go in with a slightly darker color to do my outer edges with. And I'm going to use this one right here. And it's a warm brown, but it's not like super warm or like a maroon. It's more of just a warm regular brown. Now for this part, you hold your brush pretty loosely, and then I go in and I start right at the very corner of my eye and I start blending in circular motions. And I'm still kind of creating that V, but you go in with circular motions. You don't want to take your brush and go in like, because if you do that, then you're not going to have really blended out edges and it's just going to look too harsh. So I'm blending, and I'm pulling it over a little bit more toward the center. Still swirling though. And I think that's actually pretty good for right now. As I said, we're going to go for more of like a glammed up everyday look. So it is going to look a little bit glam. We're going to put a little sparkles and things, but it's not going to be anything like super crazy. I'm going to go ahead and put this brown shade on the other side and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got the other eye done, and you may not want to take your shadow all the way up to here like I do, but I usually take it up higher and then out a little because I have very small eyes and I want to make them look larger. And so that's why I personally do it. You can go as big or as small as you would like. So the next thing we're going to do is put a color here down on our lid. And today I kind of bounce back and forth when I'm doing everyday looks between this is a shade called Face that you can also use for a highlighter on your face if you'd like, or just an eyeshadow. And then this one, what is this one even called? It's called Sister. And it's kind of like a peachy pink shimmer, and it's just very soft and pretty, so I enjoy using that a lot. So that's the one I'm going to go with today. I always just anytime I use a shimmer shade, you're going to see me just take my finger and pat it into the pan and then pat it on my eyelid. So I just swirl my finger around like that. And then I'm just going to pat it on there. And we're going to do a couple layers of this. I'm just patting, and I'm going to bring it over to right about there because we want it to blend kind of into that darker shade we did on the outer V. So I'm still just patting it on. Pat, 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 pat. And then, once I feel like I've got a nice little layer of that down, actually I'm going to go in just a little bit more because I want it to be shimmery yet opaque. Okay, so once I've got a decent layer of that down, I go right back in with that fluffy brush that I used with the darker brown shade, and I'm not going to add any more product at this point. And I'm just going to kind of fluff it along the edges where that shimmer shade meets the darker shade. That way it's kind of more blended in and I don't have like a harsh line right there. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do with the under eye, and then I'll pause the video and do the other side off camera in order to save time. So oftentimes that's when I like to use these more colorful shades along the bottom here because I just like to have fun with makeup and not look like so the same as everyone else every single day. And so that's why I like these, because I can do a fun little pop of color on the lower lash line. And so without having like blue or purple eyeshadow up here on the lid for an everyday look, I can just put a little line here and make it more fun. So today, since I'm wearing this denim top, I'm going to go in with this bluish shade. This is a shimmer, but it's a nice like mix between a royal and a navy blue. I wouldn't call it quite as dark as navy, but not as light as royal. And I'm using like an angled brush. I don't know if you can, there you go. See that? And I'm just going to tap into that blue, and I'm going to rub right along the lower lash line with this, just to give it a fun pop of color. Another way you can achieve this little pop of color is to get like colored gel liners and put them in your waterline. But I have found that no matter what kind of gel liner I use, and no matter what liner I use, period, it does not stick around all day in the lower lash line. This will stick around all day. So I'm just patting it on there gently. And it may look a little crazy right now, but it's all going to come together. Have a little bit of fallout on my cheek. So I'm just going to swirl my brush around to whisk that away. Okay, so I'm going to do what I've done on this eye, on the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have both sides pretty much done. And now I'm going to use some eyeliner right quick here. Let me get this humongous palette. Actually, no. Before I put this palette away, what did I do? I don't know what I did with the little brush that I used to put my... Oh, there it is. This is a little, very tiny brush, and the handle broke off of it. I need to glue it back on. But it's kind of perfect for doing that under eye highlight, or underbrow highlight. And I'm just going to use this shade right here. It's shimmery, it's light, it's kind of like a champagne type of color. I'm just going to go right along under my brow, but over that brown shade with it, very lightly. Okay, so now that I've got that on, I'm going to put this palette away, and then we'll start with some liner and mascara and lashes. Have to locate what I did with, I think this one's it. Okay, no, this is not it. I had everything else laid out, but then last night, here we go. I'm using this NYX matte liquid liner. Let me see if this is the, no, that's the dried up one. I need to get rid of it, but I always have like this fear that I'm going to misplace the one that I currently use the most. And so then just for like a day, I can use one that's a little bit dried up. Okay, I found it. This is a brush tip liner. I don't know if you saw my other video where I talked about it, but this is like really nice. It's very black. I still pull my eye to the side to do liner. Sorry if that seems amateurish. Okay, it's a little thicker than I wanted, but that's all right. I just pulled it over to do like not a full-blown cat eye. Just a little bit there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side. And while I do that, I want to say, even though I have a hard time talking when I'm putting eyeliner on, but the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation that I had spoken about previously that I was trying out, I'm not really sure that I love it. And I wasn't sure if that I didn't love it or if I didn't love it in combination with the primer, the Tarte primer that I was using. I used it today with the Professional primer, and I do feel like it looks a little better. It's still very texturized, and I'm kind of wondering, and I thought I would never say this in my life, but I'm kind of wondering if it's too matte for me now, and so it's making my skin like look older. Maybe I'm just too old for a foundation that's that matte now, but I've always been so oily that I've loved matte foundation, so for me it was always like the more matte the better. So, you know, maybe that's all changed. I don't know. Like I said, my skin is doing something funky lately. And it could just be because we're in the dry winter months here in Colorado and everywhere, but we have no humidity at all here. I am messing this up. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, so we have no humidity at all here, so I'm just wondering if my face is like so sucked out of moisture. But even when I sleep in, like wash my face and sleep with, you know, like a serum on my face that's supposed to like kind of suck the moisture out of your skin, I'm still noticing that I'm like a little bit oily in the morning before I wash my face when I wake up. And so I'm kind of confused. That's why I said my skin is doing something very, very weird. Oh, before I put on mascara, I need to put the glue on my lashes. The lashes I'm using today are Allure brand with a collab with, I can't talk, a collab with Ann Lee, and it's called So Lush in the Faux Mink collection. I haven't used these before. They're brand new. I've already trimmed them up. It says easy on, gentle off, reusable, feather light feel. This is the box they come in. I got them at Walgreens. I think they were $8.99. They're kind of those, which you'll see when I put them on, but they're like separated type of lashes. And so those can tend to look great or ugh. So we'll see how these look since I've never used them before. But I do like the Nicole Guerrero collab that they did. I like those a lot. So hopefully I'll like these two. More often than not, I use Ardell lashes. But I'm finding that I'm just wanting to like change it up, have some options, whether I do like a wispy, fun, flirty lash, or I do more of like a separated lash that's a little more intense like these, a longer lash, a shorter lash. I just like to have options. So that's why I bought these. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on them. I'm using the Duo Lash Glue in the darker shade because it dries down black. So it blends in more with your eyeliner and mascara than the clear one, because that can look like you kind of get gobs of glue stuck to your lashes, and that's not really a good look. But I'm going to put just some mascara on. This is a Sephora brand mascara that they sent me in my Sephora Play box. I'm just getting a little coat of them. I'm not really like taking my time here. So while I'm doing this, the glue is drying on my lashes. And you need to just let it dry for about a minute or two to let it be tacky, but not slippery wet. Because if it's slippery wet, then it's hard to get them in the correct position and have them stay there. Because, you know, you'll place them and then they slide all around back and forth. And that's not fun. I'm trying to look at my time here. All right, just getting a good coat. So, hold on. I gotta help Benjamin. Okay, helped Benjamin. There we go. He's happy now. Okay, I think I was talking about the foundation. Okay, back to what I said about the foundation. It is a great improvement, and I know it's probably, you all probably can't see much wrong with it, so you don't really know what I'm talking about, but I mean, I feel like this shows every pore, every wrinkle, every single fine line, and I barely powdered today when normally I like bake with powder. If you've seen my older videos, you know that. I barely powdered today, and I still feel like it looks so dry. So maybe I'm just getting too old to wear matte foundation. We'll see. But I'm going to take it back if by the end of today I'm not satisfied, because that means I used it with the new primer to try, the Holy Grail primer. Neither are any good with it, so I will be returning it. Now I'm looking here. I want to put these on that I mentioned in my previous video, but here we go. I want to use the one that I've already been using. This is what I talked about with putting just some on the lower lash line. I kind of try to go between my lashes and under my lashes. Does that make sense? I don't go on top of the lashes. And just do a little line. And it's subtle. I don't even know if you all can see it at all. But it's really pretty. And then I go into the inner V and do a little bit on top and a little bit on the bottom. And I really like the way that it looks. Just lets us have some fun. Just kind of like the blue underneath the eye does. The glitter under the eye. Just lets you have some fun on a day-to-day basis, where you're not having like purple, green, orange eyeshadow on. Not doing any fun colors like that, but then you can still have some fun with it. So I really like those a lot. I will tell you that there's like a slight burning sensation when I first put it on. It's very slight. Hold on one second. Let me help Ben. Okay, we are the height of professionalism over here. Pause. Let me help my child. I'm placing these lashes on right now. You want to just get them as close to your regular lash line as possible. And then once I get them placed on, I like to just kind of push up a smidge. Because you don't want them to be like that, sad, droopy lashes. Okay, that one's on. Now for the other one. And see the difference where I push this one up and I haven't pushed this one up yet? That's why we do that. Okay, so any glue you may see will continue to dry. All right, but I think this look turned out okay. I'm liking the lashes so far. Again, I just like to have options when it comes to them. Since there are so many options, I don't want to have to be wearing the exact same kind of lashes every single day. I want to mix it up. My eyes are still so wonky from these contacts that I have in that I'm still getting used to. It's like it makes one eye turn a little differently because I'm not, this eye kind of turns in a little bit because I'm not used to having this prescription, but that should get better. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on the lashes to make them just a little more bright and intense. All right, and there we have it. That's the finished eye look. Fun, easy, nothing too complicated. Just the most complicated thing we did was really just blending this outer corner shade. But this would be more of like an everyday look I do with the James Charles palette. And I'm still able to accomplish an everyday look, but have a little fun and do some interesting colors on the bottom because those are available in the palette. I think it looks better in person than it does on camera just because you're able to kind of see the glitter better. But, you know, you can still get the general idea. I'd almost forgotten. I like to put on some black mascara over top after I do the glitters. So then I'm not like, I don't have a bunch of glitter just sticking on my bottom lashes. But that's it. Sorry if this went a little longer than I had planned, but there are some additional steps that I wanted to make sure that I showed you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did, and then hit the notification bell so you can be made aware whenever I post a video. I have some more videos like these coming. I'm going to, I think next time, do a glitter cut crease just so you can see what that's all about, and more looks coming and more product reviews letting you know how I feel about products and if they're worth the money or not. But thank you so much for watching with me. God bless you and have a wonderful day.